Hey, you guys, it is your girl, Himiko Siddiqui. Do me a favor on the left hand side, hit the share button. On the right, hit the hearts because you know I want to love you back. Listen, today we are going to be talking about one of the most important conversations for anybody that has family members that you love, you have children, anybody that you're leaving behind. I need to make sure that we get this information out. So I'm going to ask for you guys to not only share this information on your timeline, but ask people to share it because this is important today. I seem to be having this conversation quite a bit with quite a few people. And so I want to make sure that we get some clarity around what do we need when we pass away? What do we need to leave for our loved ones so that they are clear what they need. All right, you guys. So here's what we're going to start with, you guys, is what do we need to leave? First of all, we need to have a living trust, a revocable living trust. What that means is it's something that you can change and it is fluid while you are living. But the moment you pass away, it becomes irrevocable, which means that everything you said in that document is set in stone. So make sure that we understand that, okay? Next, we're going to have an abstract of trust. What is an abstract of trust? That is basically all of the information that you need from your cryptocurrency, your bank statements, all of that stuff is going to go in the abstract of trust, okay? That is the document that precedes the living trust, okay? Then you're going to have your personal property assignment. This is really huge, you guys. This is where you get the opportunity to say, hey, I'm going to leave my daughter my furs. I'm going to leave my nieces and my cousin some of my jewelry, and designate what the jewelry is. If it's rings, if it's necklaces, if it's bracelets, whatever it may be, if it's a crown, honey, if you're a queen. So make sure that you have all of this spelled out. Furniture. One of the things we never think about is furniture. We've got couches, we've got pictures, anything of value that you're going to be leaving to your family members. We want to make sure that you identify that in this document. Whether you have china, assets. Let's talk about one of the ones that get overlooked the most. This is the car. When you have a vehicle, I want you to go down with your trust document down to the DMV. You're going to take your trust document to the DMV and put your car in the name of the trust. So when you pass away and you've assigned it to a family member, it is not going to be a complication for them where they have to go through probate to get this whole thing done. Okay? So that is the simple thing that I need you guys to do. Next, when we're dividing our assets, we need to make sure that we're clear. If we have homes, investments, life insurance policies, we need to dictate to whoever that is going to go to. You might have a brother you're leaving behind and you're leaving him or her your life insurance policy because you don't have any children. Or you have multiple homes or investments and you have multiple children like I do. For me, for example, I have 3 kids and my intention is to leave them a third, a third, a third. So they each will have their own house. If they all want to keep the main house, which is where I live, then let's say my son who is visually impaired wants to stay in the house. One of the things that I stipulated is that, hey, if you're going to stay in the house, you've got to pay rent to your brother and your sister. So that way they don't feel like they've been slighted. So if the rent is $1,000 or $3,000 in this neighborhood, then you need to pay your brother $1,000 and you need to pay your sister $1,000. If they decide that that's not something they want to do, fine. But I want what is fair and reasonable for all parties in my family. But you guys can decide however you want to do that, right? So just things that I want you to consider as well is you need to also have a last will and testament. What is a last will and testament? This is the last thing I'm going to say before I die type of document, okay? And what that is you need to name the beneficiaries in there. Gifts. This is the same thing that we have here. Are we gifting anything? Are we gifting our bank accounts to our children? Or are we gifting it to a charitable foundation? Whatever that is, we're going to put that in here. And then you're going to have your pour over will. We'll talk about that as well. A pour over will is super, super important. You cannot have a pour over will without a living trust. And let me clarify. A living trust is the document that states, hey, this is what I want to happen. A pour over will says, hey, just in case I bought some property in St. Louis, or I bought some property in Alabama, or I bought some crypto and I forgot to put it inside my trust, your pour over will says, oh, honey, don't worry about it. I got you covered. It goes out and it grabs those items that you forgot. They're in your main name. Your social security is tied to it, but you didn't put it in the living trust while you had the opportunity. Okay. So it goes out, pulls those things into the trust and says, hey, these belong to Himiko Siddiqui. So that means it belongs to her trust. Okay. So you're going to need a pour over will in addition to just having your living trust. And that's going to be real important for those of you that buy multiple properties, or you're investing in stock and you didn't even think, oh yeah, I got to put my stock, or hey, maybe you're investing in crypto right now and you didn't even think, oh, I should put my crypto. Most of us don't know how to do that, right? How do we put it not only in a wallet, but how do we put it inside of a trust? The pour over will pull it all in, just in case you forget. Okay. Next thing you need to know is you need to have a health and HIPAA. This is like, hey, you might be on life support, and they have to decide, do we give her a blood transfusion, or do we jumpstart her heart if she passes away? Then this is a document that's going to allow your family members or whomever you've designated to make those choices for you. But more importantly, you have a voice through the document. So you want to make sure that you have those as well. Okay. Next, this is huge, you guys. For me, for my kids, I created a binder. And in this binder are all of these documents. So I want to make sure that you're also clear. I am not an attorney, you guys. I'm a realtor and I have been for 21 years. But I do this stuff a lot because I deal with a lot of family members that pass away, and I'm dealing with their families. And so through this process, I've learned a lot of the stuff that needs to happen. This is what I'm telling you, okay? So I created this this binder for that reason. And then I also, inside of there, and I won't show you guys the front of this document, but what this is basically 2 pieces of paper with all of my passwords, from my computer to my American Express to my login for DocuSign to my cell phone to every single thing that I log into. I put it on this piece of paper because what generally happens is when I'm selling real estate and the family member has passed on, we're trying to access the Wi-Fi for the system, or we're trying to log into a computer so that we can control the darn house, or whatever the case may be, and we don't have those passwords. So I'm asking you guys, create a document, put all of your passwords from honey, and if you don't want your cell phone stuff, just, I don't know, put it on, delete everything when I pass away type thing. I don't know. But make sure that you have your password for your cell phone as well, because a lot of your login stuff is there, and that's where we're going to find it at. Okay. One of the other things that I did for my kids is I wrote them a letter. I know that they're going to be going through a hard time. So I took the time to write them a letter, and I specifically told my daughter, chill out, girl. I know you're feisty with your brothers. Hang on tight. So just write them a letter that they can read, laugh about, that you know that it was heartfelt from you while you were still here. Okay. The other thing that I included was every single, on this opposite side, everything from my life insurance policy. So I have 3 life insurance policies. So I have all of those there. I have bank statements. I have just everything that they're going to be looking for. Just think about it. How many of you had a family member pass away and you're like, where's the life insurance policy? Well, did they have a will? Did they have a trust? All of that stuff, put it in this binder so that it'll help them out. Okay, you guys. So today I want to share this with you because I've had way too many clients with family members passing away, and none of this information is done and or left behind. But not with you, not on my watch. All right. So share this message, you guys. And if you have questions about real estate, throw it in the comments. Send me a DM message. I will get back to you as soon as possible. Hold up. I see a couple of questions here. Just put those questions down in the comments and I will get back to you guys as soon as possible. If you're trying to do this for yourself and you have a couple more questions for me, send me a DM and myself or one of my team members will get back to you guys and we will try to get all of your questions answered. In the meantime, if you got something, throw it in the comments. I read every single comment whenever I can. All right. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.